Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and we want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. We definitely want you guys to stick around for it. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as y'all know, Russell Westbrook, over the last 2 years, has arguably been the single most criticized NBA player in the entire association. No one in the NBA has received the level of criticism and scrutiny that Russell Westbrook has received ever since he decided to join the Lakers 2 years ago. The first year in LA was a total disaster. Lakers ended up not even making it into the play-in tournament. Russell Westbrook was blamed heavily by people in the media like Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe, and so many others, while knowing that the Lakers had other issues outside the poor play of Russell Westbrook. Then the Lakers bring Russell Westbrook back for a second season, and he started to improve his play a little bit. But for whatever reason, people like Skip Bayless always found a sly way of highlighting the negatives in Russell Westbrook. Even in games when he would play well, he would always look for a way to either diminish it or he would just flat out remain mute on the topic. Then Russell Westbrook gets traded from the Los Angeles Lakers to the Utah Jazz. And then he's bought out, I believe, and then he's picked up by the Los Angeles Clippers. One would have thought, well, he's no longer a Laker, and given the fact that we talk about the Lakers 5 days a week, that there's no good reason to be discussing Russell Westbrook anymore. But of course, you would be wrong if you thought that. Why? Because Skip Bayless has made it his personal goal to criticize and in some cases demonize Russell Westbrook to the masses. So what happened yesterday? In a game that me as a Clipper supporter, I was very worried about, and I posted it on the channel going into the game against the Memphis Grizzlies, a team that plays very well with Ja Morant or without him. Before that game started, I said, man, I'm a bit worried about the Clippers going into this game. So I tune into the game, and as I'm looking at the first quarter, I'm looking at the players on the court, and I'm like, wait a minute. I don't see Kawhi Leonard on the floor. I then quickly do some research and found out that a report came out, I believe it was through CBS Sports, that they said Kawhi was going to be out for personal reasons. And I was like, oh my Lord, we're going to lose this game. Some Clipper supporters, to be fair, they said, you ain't got nothing to worry about. And then I start to watch the game. And it was like watching a miracle unfold in front of your eyes. Russell Westbrook came out. He hit one shot. He hit the next shot. He crossed over a Memphis Grizzly. Dunked it down the lane. Then he hit another three. Then he hit another three. And another three. And I was like, what is going on here? By the first half, Russell Westbrook, I believe, already had 20 points. And I'm looking at his field goal shooting percentage. And I'm like, this guy's not missing. On top of that, he has a bounce in his step. You could tell that his teammates were feeding off of him. It was 100% clear if you watched that game that Russell Westbrook was leading those guys. They were following his lead. You could tell that his confidence was rubbing off on some of the other Clippers players. And you saw players like Bones Highland come off the bench, and he was balling as well. And I was like, this is a beautiful thing to see. Then, of course, the Memphis Grizzlies started fighting back in the second half, and they made it a competitive game. They started trading three after three, but the Clippers in that game, they just went out of their minds from the three-point line. They ended up making 22 three-pointers in that game, right? Russell Westbrook in that game shot 100% from the three, going 5 of 5, and he shot 72.2% from the field, going 13 of 18 from the floor, and he finished the game with 36 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds, and only 2 turnovers in a win at Memphis on the road. Now, let me tell you guys something. Russell Westbrook, at no point in time in history, has ever been my favorite player. Ever. But what I think is happening with Russell Westbrook, in terms of my kind of relationship with him, is I'm starting to support Russell Westbrook, and I think many people are as well, because they don't like the way this guy has been treated in the media, especially by people like Skip Bayless. And after a while, people want to root for a guy like that because they want to see him do well. If you go through the comments under the videos that posted about Russell Westbrook's performance, people are like, man, I'm so happy for Russ, man. Okay, I'm so happy to see him doing good. Most of these guys were probably not Russell Westbrook fans to begin with. But because they see the guy playing well after being heavily criticized, it could only make you want to root for him, except if you're Skip Bayless. Let me read to you what Skip Bayless posted on Twitter after the Clippers won. He wrote, Russell Westbrook flashes back on Grizz in Memphis, and it will turn out to be fool's gold. No Kawhi, no PG, so Russ went Washington Rust, solo star. Grizz didn't take Clips seriously enough. Russ was great old day sensational. Congrats for one night. You know, we recently produced a show that was centered on a discussion between Dan Le Batard and Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith was basically saying that with the advent of social media, it's allowed a lot of people to just basically have an opinion that don't have journalistic backgrounds, because Dan Le Batard said he doesn't like what him and people like Skip Bayless have done to sports media, basically making it more about the argument and shouting and entertainment and less about the substance. And Stephen A. Smith used a term. He said, people like me and Skip, we have journalistic ethics. Where's the journalistic ethics in what Skip Bayless is doing? Where's the ethics in that? If the guy does poorly, you criticize him. If he does well, you give him an underhanded compliment. Where's the journalistic? I'm finding it very hard to see it here. With Skip and Russ, it's an agenda. This is personal. This has nothing to do with analyzing sports. There's no analyzing that took place with that comment. None whatsoever. And I think it's absolutely, I think it is absolutely disgusting. Do you know what I think would be the best sports story this year, at least before the season is finished? Is if the Clippers go to the NBA Finals and Russell Westbrook plays well and they win the championship, and we have to sit down and watch Skip Bayless find a way to go around criticizing Russ. I would love to see his reaction. To me, that would make my 2023 season, because what Skip is doing with Russ is not normal. This is not journalism. It seems to me like hatred at this point. No one will convince me otherwise, because I don't know why he is so hypercritical of Russell Westbrook. It makes no damn sense.